Welcome you this week to Who's This Podcast. I'm coming to you not as a pastor, I'm coming to you as a concerned citizen of Union County, and we are excited today to have Wyatt Dunn in with us today. He's running for county commissioner, and we have put this invitation out, Wyatt, to every politician that's running in the county, whether they're running for city council, county commissioner, house, school board. We put this invitation out to everybody. We've getting a few come, and but the only reason I'm really doing this podcast is to let the people know who the politician is. A lot of times I think I've actually just seen it this week. These sample ballots going around and saying, "Just let me hand you a sample ballot. This is who you vote for." And I'll start off and say this, and then I'm gonna let you introduce yourself and let people know who you are and tell a little about your background. But just for example, my daughter come to me this week, and I told her, I said, now March the 3rd, we don't, it's all good to do early voting. I'm glad for that, but I always go the day of the voting, and I take my family. I want to do, we do it as a family. And I get all my kids together, my wife, and we go as a family. And all my kids is age enough to vote now. And so told my daughter the other day, I said, don't make no plans for March the 3rd. I said, we're going as a family. And she said, but I really don't know who to vote for. You're going to have to show me who to vote for. I said, no. I'm not going to show you who to vote for. Yeah. I said, we're going to sit down, and I'm going to explain.
Do a little research.
I'm going to explain it and lay it out there, and then you make your decision. That is your right. I'm not going to persuade you. You say, well, you already persuade you. No, I'm not going to persuade you, because the decisions made today will affect tomorrow. And decisions that, what we need to realize, decisions made today is going to affect that 20-year-old, that 25-year-old, that 30-year-old. And so, but again, it's good to have, Mr. Wyatt, it's good to have you in. You're running for county commissioner. And so why don't you just take a minute and just tell people about who you are, your background, and your family, and go ahead.
Well, I appreciate this, Ryle, and you must be a good dad to have that kind of relationship with your daughter that she'll listen to you. So I got that same relationship with my kids. But hey, I appreciate the opportunity to do this in this informal setting where I don't have 3 minutes to talk and then try to jam
we
something
can go
in.
30 minutes or hour, whatever you want to do.
Because, as you know, for the last 20 years, I've served on the Stallings Town Council. In the last 12 years, I was the mayor. And I'll back up a little bit. When I ran first time in 2005, my job, I cover all of North America. I'm on the road a lot. So first thing I asked them was, when do you meet? So if you meet on Monday nights, I can be there, because Tuesday through Friday, I'm always on the road. So they met on Monday nights. I said, I'll run. So then I told the ladies in my neighborhood, I have 0 time to campaign, and y'all get me elected. And they did. I usually win with 75, 80% of the vote, because people like in Stallings, conservative Republicans, they like what they get out of me. I'm a 5-0, run 5 elections, and so the politics. So what happened was, I just resigned. I didn't run for re-election in December, and so it's 20 years. And so I was retired, and then some folks at church knew there was a spot open at county commissioner, so they came to me because they were looking for 3 things. They were looking for a Christian first, a businessman second, and somebody that had high integrity and common sense. And so they had known me a long time, being in politics for 20 years. If I didn't have integrity, I would have been found out.
Well, you got a pretty good track record.
Got a pretty good track record. So Stallings is a great place to live, and we're very down to earth. So we're very friendly to the business community, and that's what I telling people what I can do for Union County is, I know how to recruit businesses, what they need. I was talking to some people at a function, but the process in Union County to get a permit just takes forever. And then, as I was telling you, I call on manufacturers of products, and time is money. I know that's a cliche, but in manufacturing,
it's true.
Time is money. So if I shut down a plant and they don't have the product there, and it's going to be a week till I get it, or they can't get their permits, So at Stallings, that's what I tell the staff when the new staff member comes on board or anybody like that. I said, we're going to streamline our process somehow. We just can't have these people waiting 6, 8, 9 months, and I'll do the same thing for Union County.
Yeah.
I'll try to. Now, the good thing about Union County is I already have a relationship with the county manager, Brian Matthews. He was the town manager at Stallings for 12 years. So he knows me. He knows me, and I know him. And and I get a kick out of all these signs, but the conservative wall, I tell people, ask Brian Matthews who's the most conservative man he's ever met. And because I watch every dime on that budget. And so
well, there's a lot of wasted money.
A lot of wasted money.
And a lot of people don't grasp that. I have opportunities to serve on a board in our area where I live, and it's you spending taxpayers' money, and a lot of times it's easy to spend it because it's not coming out of my pocket.
That's right.
But you have to spend every dollar like it's coming out of your bank account, and you have to be careful.
And that's what happens in Washington, and it happens at the local level too. People get on the board; it's not their money, and they just spend it like it's not their money, and that they just don't analyze it. And so, town of Stallings, in my 20-year career, most of the time we've had 0 tax increases. Most of the time. 2 times out of those 20 years, we had a tax decrease.
Well, that's what we need in Union County.
That's never. Brian was there when it happened. It's never happened. He was telling me, very few municipalities, towns ever have a tax decrease. But we just cut out the waste. We just built one of the things I'm proud of is it's sort of funny. Our Stallings Town Park has been recognized as one of the best parks in North Carolina. It's a great park, $4 million, money well spent.
Yeah.
But the guy that was designing it, of course, he wanted to put in every amenity he could to build up, charge us more money. He wanted to put in 3 concrete pads for camping. Now, I do a lot of camping. I'm not going to camp on a concrete pad unless I'm in an RV, and I'm not going to pull an RV into. So that was $30,000.
$30,000.
Just save like that. So things like that. It just people pay attention.
Yeah.
And so,
the little things. Just try to slide through.
That's right.
Try to slide through. Well, you're a family man too. Tell us about your family.
Family man, big time. Faith. My tagline is faith, family, and freedom. Faith is certainly the biggest part. I've been a member of First Baptist Indian Trail for 30 years.
And a wonderful pastor up there.
Yeah, just a great guy. And so I can never leave because he would hunt me down and never find me. Family, I've been married for 45 years, but I dated her for 8. My high school sweetheart. I went to Independence High School right across the line. I grew up in Mint Hill.
Yeah.
But I've lived in Union County 35 years.
I think I heard you say that I think your girls went to Piedmont?
No, my 2 boys went to Piedmont. We live in Shantamara, which is right there on the Mecklenburg County line. Mm-hmm. So before Porter Ridge was built, they went to Piedmont. Piedmont is a great school. It's like a private school. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, one of the teachers, John Vanderreet, that was one of the math teachers there, great teacher. He's on the Stallings Town Council now. He's since retired, but a great school. And then when Porter Ridge was built, my daughter went there.
Okay.
So, but yeah, as I said, I brag on my kids just like everybody else. I said, if you're not bragging on your kids, nobody else will. You need to
takes a poor frog, don't purge his own pond, don't it?
That's right. I said you got to build them up. And so my oldest son, he's in the same business I am, chemical sales, not in the same product, but smart as a whip, but just a born salesman because he knows how to relate to people, listen, and make things happen. My second son has been in the Navy for 16 years as a pilot. He first started flying F-18s, then he's flying a spy plane, but now he left them and flying for American. And then my daughter, a lot of people know my daughter and my wife more than they know me. My daughter was Miss North Carolina in 2016. That's how I met Trump for the first time.
Okay.
President Trump, because he came to some function and she was there, and of course I horned in, and then I got to meet him there. But then when I became mayor, I got invited. I was telling you, I got invited to the White House twice.
Wow.
And that was special.
I guarantee you that's special.
So, but another thing that I bring to Union County is I have a degree in planning from Appalachian State. I was a town planner in Newton, Hickory, and Rock Hill the first 4 years of my career before I got out of there and went into the private sector. So I understand the planning issues. You know, the technology has changed how they do it, but the strategy, the planning is still the same.
Yeah.
You just have to control growth, responsible growth. You just can't, build stuff that doesn't make sense for your community.
Speaking on that, on the growth part, when it comes to the county, what is your take on the growth in the county? Where do you, when it just, we'll get to infrastructure in just a minute, but just the growth itself. I know you got to have some kind of balance between commercial growth and residential growth, and growth is a big topic in our county right now. It is a big topic.
Well, as I said the other day, construction is king in Union County. Construction and agriculture. It's never going to change. I mean, we're just too far down the road. So we have to have that. We got a lot of people employed in construction. We need to keep them employed and keep them working. So you just can't stop growth. If you're, in business, if you're not growing, your business is going to fail. Same way with the county. If they're not growing somehow, you have to have some sort of plan. Whether it's holding the line on the percentage of residential, you just can't stop growth. And the current county commissioners stopped a 1,000-unit neighborhood that I was working on before I left office. That would have homes started at 800,000.
800,000.
1,000.
So it wasn't just a cheap built home.
Oh no, this is
custom homes.
It would have put a lot of people to work, and they just didn't. What the word I was told is they just they're stopping all residential growth, which makes no sense.
Well, let me ask you something. And I looked up something. I reckon I would. You see this phrase, true conservative views. If you look at the meaning of true conservative views, it means smaller government.
Mm-hmm.
If we just keep falling into the trap of giving the government a little bit more authority before long, are we not just living under a dictatorship?
Well, it won't be a dictatorship, but it's just too much regulation. There's no doubt in my mind. It's Stallings and what I could control. We tried to keep the regulations to a minimum. And that's why we attracted so much business. That's one of the reasons why the hospital came to us. We had a great piece of property, but they worked with us, and the process was streamlined. They didn't have to wait 2 years for their permits.
Yeah.
And so we cut all the regulations out, reduced the amount of government involvement. Our planners and our engineers were involved, but they knew that we need to streamline this before they pick another site.
Yeah. So. Well, on the business side, I mean, you've been in business. How many years you say you've been in business for yourself?
45 years.
45 years. And so you just don't deal with small change.
No, multi-million-dollar contract. My customers are huge boat builders, huge tank builders, Lear truck caps. Every bathtub that's made, I sell product to make the bathtub. Every boat that's sold, I sell them product to make anything related to fiberglass, composites, underground storage tanks. So big business.
But we have to have. I mean, when it comes to leading a county, I think that is one of the strong traits that I see you bringing to our county is being the businessman you are. You look at somebody's track record, and anybody can go into business. It's how long they're going to stay in business. And you see what kind of money they dealt with. You don't stay in business 45 years. You don't stay in business 45 years dealing with that kind of money, making bad decisions.
No.
And so, that's I like that strong trait about you that as far as the business side, because I think that's what we need. We need in our county. We've got to have that the business strength. We've got to have that everything's run like it's supposed to.
Well, that's why they recruited me. They knew I had government. Business experience, government experience, had a planning degree, and most off, I have some common sense.
Living in your means, living with your means.
That's no doubt.
Let me ask you something. What do you? And here's a sort of a topic, and you can answer how you want to answer it. But looking at Union County, where do you see, how far, if it is behind, how far is it behind, or where do you think we are in our infrastructure as a whole? let's just kick roads out because I know that the state has a lot to do with the roads. I know that, but I'm talking about sewer, water, schools, all. When you look at that, where do you think that Union County is at? How far, if we're behind, how far, whatever?
Well, on the sewer, they're behind by 20 years. It takes 8 to 10 to build a plant.
Yeah.
So you build it 8 to 10, and then you got to fill it, which is not going to be overnight.
Yeah.
And so 20 years behind. But they've known about this problem for a long time. This is not something new. You know, why hasn't a capital improvement plan been implemented? You know, you pay. One of my pet peeves also in government is paying a consultant, you know, $150,000, $200,000, and then he gives you this plan and you put it on a shelf
And not do it.
not do it. So I'm sure they've done I've got bits and pieces of the capital improvement plan, and part of it has to do with sewer, but I don't see anybody, you know, taking the recommendations and implementing them.
Yeah.
So that doesn't happen in Stallings. So
So if you say we're behind 20 years, so if we started today, we'd be behind 30 years, really, right? Time we got it built. I mean,
well, it could be.
I mean, it's something that it is a topic that it needs to be addressed in our county. We've got to focus on getting the sewer. We got to focus on getting whether it's and here's just a concerned citizen looking from the outside in, and you know, hey, I'm not, when it comes to politics and it comes to knowing all the ins and outs, I ain't claiming to know much of nothing. But here's what I'm looking from the outside looking in. Are there a reason? I mean, I know that we live in a farming community, a farming county, and I'm all about protecting the farmers' rights, but I'm also all about control growth too. Because I'm in construction work, and it's what put bread on my table. But so I understand protecting both. I understand taking care of both. But it seems like there's a reason why that some parts of the county don't see the infrastructure that the other parts see.
Oh, there's certainly a divide.
I mean, it's like that. We ain't gonna run if we run water over there. We're gonna bring housing. Mm-hmm. So we'll just choose not to bring water over there. Or, you know, do you see that on? I mean,
no doubt. When we moved into Union County a long time ago, my boys went to Piedmont, which is a rural country school, and then I grew up in suburban America. So when my kids started going to school there, I met all these farmers. Yeah, and it's just a different lifestyle. Different. I mean, we got to have them, but it's just the county is so divided between east and west that somebody has to bring it together. Yeah. And I don't know if that's the current commissioners or not. I don't think any of the commissioners, I certainly don't live over there. I don't know if any of the commissioners that are running are over there, but somehow we got to bring it together.
Yeah. And so, I live on the east side, and I do have county water, and the only reason I have county water is because they run water to the fire. They're trying to get the water to the fire departments. And so I was able to get it very few people right in there that has county water. But I do have county water, and I'm very thankful for that, because you get on the northeastern part of this county, and I can't speak for other parts. I can speak where we don't. A lot of the water over there is awful. Some's got arson in it. Most every bit of it stinks like rotten eggs. You got to have some kind of system on it to filtrate it. The water really ain't that good. And
are you in the Fairview area?
I'm between Fairview and New Salem.
Okay.
Halfway in between both, really, right in the middle. And so the water really ain't that good over there. And I was blessed to get on that. But you go back to looking at the water treatment plant was built over there. When it come across, I'm here again. I'm outside looking in. If I'm bringing water from another county, another place, was there a reason that water treatment plant made it just about all the way to Monroe before they put it in? Because I'm looking from the outside in, it don't look like they're going to reverse and go backwards. You see what I'm saying? Wouldn't it have been good to just put it on Rocky River, right on the river when it come across the county, and then we can feed all the county, or was there a reason it went that far? These are just questions that's just stirring in my.
Well, transparency is a big word in government, and that's one of the things that's lacking on the water and sewer program in Union County. When I ran in '05 with Linda Paxton, which she ran as mayor and defeated Lucy Drake. Lucy Drake did a lot to develop Stallings, but she beat her. Lucy was the incumbent, and Linda was an upset. So Linda and I came on board, and Linda's sole thing to do was to make government more transparent, because it wasn't in Stallings, and now it is, and it's not transparent to me in Union County, because you just can't find sewer capacity. I just heard the other day that really 12 Mile Creek is at 70%, not 90. And we've had engineers from Union County come to Stallings and tell us, how much, what's the capacity? And I said, well, it's all 90 to 95%. You can't do anything. And so now you hear it's 70. So what's the real truth? So it's not transparent. So we just need reliable information.
Well, I think that transparency causes division to go away.
Yeah.
I think that's what we need. We in government, whether it's at the county level, whether it's at the state level or the federal level. I said this on every one of my podcasts I've done so far. There might be some that don't like Donald Trump, but there's one thing you can say about him. When he said he's going to do something,
he's transparent.
He's going to do it. He's going to do it like he said he did. And so, that's what I think that's what American people is wanting. They wanting somebody that's going to do what they say they're going to do. But the government, we've lost so much confidence in the government because all the lies have been told. Mm-hmm. And we're going to do this and we're going to do this. And I think we see this a lot. We see a lot of politicians, whoever's funding them politically has so much influence on who they are. Mm-hmm. It's like they're just a puppet. We don't need puppets. We need people who said, you know what, this is what I plan on doing. That's what I'm going to do. That's
right. Well, that's why I got elected 5 times in Stallings. Transparent. I'm not going to have any secrets, and so this is what the council is going to do, and we get it done in a timely manner.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you. I don't want to take all of your time. I know you're busy, man, and I thank you for coming in and sitting down with us. But how do you think? What is the plan if you was elected in the county commissioner? And if you get elected in a county commissioner, and let's just say that you had the people to go with you to back you, have enough votes to back you, what is the fix to Union County?
Well, you hit the nail on the head.
You got to have people back you.
You got to have the majority, just like Republicans and Democrats in the Senate and the House. So the first fix is just get a handle. As I was talking about, get the transparency on the sewer system, and the other topic that I've talked to Sheriff Cathy about is the jail. I understand that the county could be possibly sued because of the conditions of the jail. So I've been in politics in Stallings for 20 years. I hadn't heard about any of these things, and so why hasn't the county commission come to each town and say, hey, we need more money? And and people, if you're transparent with them, and you tell them what you're spending the money on, most of the time they're, okay, the jail needs repair. We don't want to be sued. It's costing us money to send prisoners to other county. Tell us what's going on. But we don't get that from the county commissioners. It's just not transparent. So that's the first thing we would do. I'm running with Patrick Tyson. I've never met Patrick before, but he's an honorable man and certainly a conservative in my mind, and so we're trying to get on the board together there and make some change.
So that's transparency, your biggest thing.
Well, the other thing, other reasons why I was elected 5 times is God gave me 2 ears for a reason. I listen more than I talk. So if I don't know what you need, the citizens, then I have to make the determination whether I agree with it. Do we have the money to buy it? And then you've convinced me, we need to do this. And so now, do we have the money to do that project or something like that? But first off, you got to listen to your customers. Yeah, that's why I'm so successful in business. I listen to my customers. I don't try to push something on they don't need. So I listen twice as much as I talk.
No, that's good. That's good. Let me ask you something else. one. I asked Pastor this question, and I want to share this question with you because I know you're a man of faith and you love the Lord. But let's just say that 50% of our county, let's just say 50% of our population is not Christians, and I'm just throwing a statistic out. I don't know this. I'm just throwing that out there as a number. And you're elected in as county commissioner. As a man of faith, how do you plan on being the commissioner to them 50% that's not Christians, that don't think that you're going to think that you're going to come in here and beat me over the head with the Bible and beat me? Because we live in that dang time. We live in a country that, just like my church said, we got a freedom. It's freedom of religion. And you got a way of you can believe any way you want to. And I think so much division is in our country today. It's got where it ain't even Democrat and Republican no more. It's either right or wrong, and it seemed like, and when it stands from our view, as a pastor, I learned this a long time ago, and I think it's one of the greatest things that I learned, and I wish I'd have learned it sooner. But we've got to put ourselves in other people's shoes sometimes, and we've got to be fair. And I'm just going to throw this out here, and I don't know why this is coming out, but I'm just going to throw this out here, and maybe I need to be quiet and not talk as much, but that's what this is about. Me and you just sitting down talking and learning one another. I first come here as a pastor, and I started pastoring, and I'm one of these. I grew up listening to old country music, George Jones, Merle Haggard. That's how, just country boy, just listening to old country music.
Right.
Well, when God called me to preach, God saved me, and God called me to preach, and I come pastoring a church, I was all about Southern gospel. And that would be the parallel with country because it's got that country side to it.
Sure.
And for several years pastoring this church, you wouldn't bring a contemporary song in this church. That wasn't me. You wasn't bringing a country. That was of the devil. That's how I looked at it. Mm-hmm. But if God saves somebody and they come up listening to rock music, heavy metal, and the hated country music, they probably ain't gonna like Southern gospel too much. And so I had to learn as a pastor that I'm ministering to the whole, not just a group. Not just, even though, God saved them from this, God saved them from over here, and God saved them over here, and I'm ministering to the whole. And I just can't I've got to minister to the whole instead of just one side. And so as a county commissioner, we go in, and you've elected in as a county commissioner, you still got to minister to the whole. And I think that is if you get what the question I'm trying to ask, how do you plan on ministering to the whole?
Well, I think people, once you understand what their issues are, they're looking for men of integrity. And that's what the Christian faith brings me. When I'm in a meeting with Stallings Town Council, after we do the opening prayer, religion doesn't come up. We're trying to do what's best for the town, but they know my integrity, they know my honesty, they know the character of me.
Yeah.
And that's I wish a lot of people would dig a little deeper. When people get up and give political speeches, everybody wants clean water, clean air, dollars growing on trees. But get into somebody's background, get into the character of a man or woman. That's what I bring to the table. I have my character is for over 20 years. I've been attacked as mayor, and I withstand it, and I treat them like a brother in Christ, and whether they are or not. So that's the way. That's the character in me that God is. But as far as a project comes to us, when the hospital come to us, we didn't talk about religion at that point. Now, when we go out for lunch, we're gonna pray before we eat it. So everybody knows where I stand.
That's good. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said just approach it with integrity, because I think that's what the Bible teaches us. The Bible teaches us when we look at the Bible that you look at men of faith that was, whether it was Joseph, you look at Daniel, you look at Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, you look at all them men that served in some kind of leadership. They served under a wicked government, but yet so many people, they was high in office, but yet so many people looked to them and trust them because they was men of integrity. They never, they was able to minister to all, but they still had integrity.
Right. And that's an easy word to throw around, integrity, honesty, but I've proven it over a 20-year government career that I'm a public servant that's going to be honest with you, and I'm going to protect your dollars like they're my own.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Dunn, it's been good to have you today.
Well, I
And
appreciate
it's been
the
good to sit
opportunity.
down,
Like I said,
and
I got more than 3 minutes to talk.
well, and I want to give you plenty of time to sit down and talk with us and share. And I don't think I wrote down some stuff here because I just wanted to, I wanted the people to hear you. And I know you've been the mayor of Stallings. Honestly, you've been the mayor of Stallings up there and been on the council and been there 20 years serving up there. But I had never heard of.
That's
I
right.
had never heard of you.
Well, as I said, with my job being on the road all the time and being such a family focused, I just didn't have many relationships outside of Stallings. But I know the issues that are affecting the western, eastern, north, south part of this county, and I think I can help solve some of those issues.
Well, let me ask you one of, and I know I'm just going to keep running rabbits because I enjoy learning about people. I enjoy just learning about people in general and knowing who to vote for and trying to figure out who to vote for, who the right person is. And because here's the thing about it is there's not going to be one candidate out there that's probably going to check 100 of your 100 boxes. There's probably going to be something out there that you're going to disagree with them. And that's one reason why I'm doing this podcast, because a lot of people only vote for somebody because, let's just say, well, I'm voting for them because they pro-life. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad they are pro-life. But in the same boat, what about the other 99 things behind that?
Right.
And so we need to study these. We need to study each candidate out and where they are. So that's one reason why I'm doing this and learn. But so I want to ask you, if we behind on this infrastructure and we need to build more, we need to build another sewer plant, and you do the digging and you see how much a sewer plant's going to cost right now. Well, how could we build that sewer plant and my taxes not skyrocket?
Well, you hit the nail on the head about if we'd have built this thing back when they knew that the infrastructure was needed, the cost would have been significantly less. You're in construction, the cost of supplies have gone up. I sell product that make construction supplies. Our prices have all gone up. So you got to act. Sooner or later, you can't kick the can down the road. But it needs to be done now.
It needs to be done now.
But another point I wanted to make, though, before we leave is Patrick and I have an uphill battle. Anytime you're fighting against, running against an incumbent, people just why do they keep people in Congress for 40 years when they're not doing anything? So just because they're incumbent, so we need your listeners' votes to get in.
Yeah.
Because it's an uphill battle to beat incumbents.
Well, I'm going to throw this out here. I didn't mention no names. Well, I ain't got to mention no names this time. But I was at Monroe High School the other night. And here's some things that, when I was at Monroe High School the other night, and I listened from the ones county commissioners to the House to everybody that was there, the city council, everybody that got up there and they got their 5 minutes to talk and then whatever. There was one politician got up there and he's running for city council. And he made a comment, and I was thinking, man, they ain't never one of them said this while they was up there. And they, but he talked about bringing, we sitting on a gold mine over here at the airport. We sitting on a gold mine as far as coming in there, putting airplane hangars in on that airport, and bringing that multi-million-dollar jet to be parked there to pay property tax on, that showed me he's thinking outside the box instead of just thinking normal like everybody else is thinking.
Right.
About how this is stuff. You bring that commercial stuff in, that commercial stuff bringing them commercial properties in will bring the tax rate down for the residential side.
No doubt.
And so, that was one thing that really stuck out. And, a lot of people don't want the big businesses around here, but they tremendously help. I don't know your stand on this. I'm one of these, and that, we have to be careful with we can't cut out the very cheap homes. We can't cut them out because some people, that's what they had to afford. Mm-hmm. We can't, but we can put a lot of restraints on the apartment complexes and, all that stuff. You can just run them rabbits all day long, but
it has to be a balance, and commercial and light industrial is the way to go, in my opinion, to mix with some type of residential. We're not going to get into heavy industrial, the kind of plants that I sell to because of the odors and the hazardous materials and things like that. But light industrial, like the Hendrick Motorsports manufacturing center that's being proposed. It's going to be built on the Union County, Mecklenburg County line, and half of it's in Stallings, half of it's in Matthews, and that's going to be light industrial. Just big money.
Big money for the town of Stallings.
Yes.
So, Mr. Dunn, it's good to have you in. Right, it's good to have you in. You take a few minutes and you tell them to vote for
my website is votewyattdunn.com. That's where you can go in there, and I have some bullet points that tell you a little bit more about me. Most of them I've talked about here today, but if you want to donate to my campaign, you got a way to do it there. I hate to ask for money. When I ran for my 5 elections in Stallings, the most I ever spent per election was $36.
$36? Is that the fee you had to pay up front?
No, not counting the fee, but I had such word of mouth, and people respected me and knew I got things done. Now, it was on the first campaign. I had to spend a little money, but I had a lot of support and in the neighborhood, and a lot of ladies helped me that spread the word. And so after they saw the results, it was pretty easy to get reelected. So it's one of the problems in Washington. Nothing gets done. I mean, the day-to-day things get done, but the vision, things that we need, like a sewer plant or anything like that, nature, you just have to have a vision and get things done, have a plan. And that's what I can do for Union County.
So you wanted them you're not just thinking about the term that you're going to serve. You're thinking about the big plan down the road.
Oh yeah.
Well, Mr. Dunn, it's been an honor, been a pleasure.
Well, pleasure meeting you.
Thank you for coming in, and so again, we thank you for tuning in. We ask you to hit the share button, get the word out. Don't just watch the video. Follow us on Facebook or YouTube, whatever you on. Subscribe to us, and the reason we are doing this is just to get the word out. We've got a lot more coming. I know that maybe also later today. That it might be aired. We got some coming in from the school board for the next few days, and the invitation's out there to anybody. And if you would like to come and sit down and talk with us, you can look us up at Who's This Podcast. You can look us up. You can find us. There's a form there. You fill out. You come sit down and talk with us. We'd be glad to have you in here. And also, I've been thinking about some. Mr. Dunn, I don't know how you'd feel about this, but I've been sharing, March the 3rd is the main day of the primaries.
That's
and
right.
How many do you believe that this is won and lost right now? March the 3rd is going to be won or lost. I mean, that's...
Oh, yeah, March 3rd is the key. Early voting is a good thing, but March 3rd, the turnout's going to be the key. And it might be, Mark Harris is running, but he's running unopposed, so I don't know what the turnout's going to be. But you do have a lot of, for the Union County commissioners, you have the school board, Monroe council, the Monroe mayor, so that's going to turn out. So turnout's going to be the key. And I appreciate, like you said, I'm not that well known outside of Stallings and Indian Trail, so that's what this will help me with the folks in Monroe. I just bought 32 ads on WIXE, And so you'll be hearing those ads for the next 8 days. So I'm just trying to reach out to the folks in other parts of the county that don't know me.
Yeah. Well, hit the share button, get the word out, and let people know who Mr. Dunn is here. And, man, I tell you what I was going to say, we're thinking about just doing, out of all the interviews that we do or on podcasts we do with individuals, I thought about, didn't know how much backlash I'd get about this, but I thought about on March the 2nd, just doing one with about, getting about 4 citizens in here that's all on different pages and just having one of them knockdown talks and saying, this is why I'm for who, this is why I'm for who, and and just the last minute thing. And because I think I think people need to hear, I think they need to hear the whole story.
Yeah.
Instead of part of the story.
Appreciate you doing it.
And so, again, thank you for coming.
Sure.
And again, hit the share button, get the word out, and God bless you.
Bless you. All right.